Alright, your Electric Motor Division, General Motors Corporation, the Section F2, F3 Motors, Section 6, Section deal with the description and function of the electrical equipment of the locomotive standard schematic wire diagram. A unit will be found in this section. The following indicate covered in the sections. Item altimeter, ammeter, contactors, control stand, control stand, distribution panel of the generators, electrical control cabinet, low regulator, magnet valves, motor, pilot valve, relay, resistor, reverser, speed recorder, switches, traction motor, control circuit, explanation, voltage regulator, main generator. The main generator is directly connected with the diesel engine through the flexible coupling. The generator produces the direct current of the operating of the traction motor, safely aligned with the bearing with the commuter ending housing, causes carry the wave of the commuter end of the generator armature. The other armature is supported by the engine of the crankshaft. The rear bearing of the generator is cooled with the blower mounted with the generator coupled with one end of the auxiliary generating shaft. Your alternator. The alternator is built into the engine end of the main generator. They're supplied with the AC power with the traction motor, blowers, and radiator cooling fans. Auxiliary generator. Auxiliary generator is used for changing the locomotive storage battery supply at a low voltage D or C. The power when the locomotive is operating the generator direct drive with a flexible coupling from the gear train over the engine. The voltage output with the auxiliary generator is maintained at a constant level at 74 volts by the voltage regulator. The control stand contained with the throttle level, the reversal level, the transition level, the throttle level, the means of electrical contacts, operating pneumatic governor, control switch for the controls or speed with the diesel engine throughout the electrical engine governor of the reverse level, the operating with the electrical contacts, glove with the trigger with the engine drive, the forward, the reverse, magnetic valve, the reverser of electronic, electrical control cabinet. There's no mechanical connection between the reversal valve and the reverser. The transition lever through the electric contact chain with the traction motor circuit to be obtained the desired locomotive traffic after speed. The reverser is an air-operated reversing switch purpose to change the direction and flow of the current with the traction motor, thus reversing the rotation of the traction motor. If the current does not reverse the main generator, if the controller air pressure is low, it should be 80 pounds. Either the magnet valve at the top of the reverser is inoperative. The reverser will not operate properly. When the locomotive is to be towed in train, advisable to lock in the raised reverse drum and the neutral during normal operation. The locking pin with the screw with the left side and side of the reverser to lock and the reverser drum and the neutral pin. This pin. Should it be removed, insert with the hole of the opposite end of the turn of the in neutral manual position, the pipe and pin will engage the hole in the shaft. Traction motor drives each of the pair with the wheel of the locomotive through the spur gear. The four traction motors are under each of the unit with the interconnected through the traction motor control circuit. Traction motor is the air cooled with the motor driven the traction motor blower. There being one blower for each motor. Serious the damage will result with the traction motor blowers become inoperative. Traction motors are under one unit with the locomotive are independent with those under any other unit. Alright, figure 6.1 shows the reverse of the control stand. Your fuel pump motors. The engine equipped with a fuel pump motor rated at 1.25 horsepower, 1100 RPM with a master fuel pump switch for the control push button, the switch button, boxes cab that disclose starting and stopping the motor's control, and the toggle switch mount with the engine control of the instrumental panel. The operating the fuel pump is covered in section 4 of this manual. Alright, your cab heater motor. The cab heater motor drives the fan behind each of the cab heater with a 3-speed switch for the start and stop of the control with the motors were located in the panels above the heater. The defroster motor for the two motors are used with the drive of the motors and each of the cabinet. From the windshield, the defroster the motors are operated with the switch located with the control push button switch mounted at the right of the engineer. The fuel pump contactor. Fuel pump contactor is located in the engine control instrumental panel. The fuel pump contactor throughout the locomotive control with the fuel pump pass over the switch on the control push button switch box when the controller and any with the code of the fuel pump can be controlled individually when the toggle switch mounted the engine control instrumental panel. Electricity is supplied through the contactor for operating shutter magnet valve cooling fan with the contactor under the control of the thermostatic switch. Generator shunt field contactor. The contactor connects the main generator shunt field with the main generator armature. At this case, the battery field contactor of the generator shunt with the field contactor open during the transition of 2 to 3 position, 3 to 2 position, reducing the generator output. Your engine starting contactor. The starting contactor is used for connecting the battery of the main generator, starting with the diesel engine. For the starting contactors of the magnetic type, the two of each for the power plant located with the electrical control cabinet, starting with the contactors closed with the start switch button is possessed with the isolation to start position. And if either one of both of the starting contactors stick with the closed position start switch button is released, and the power plant unit will be delivered. Battery charging contactor. The contactor connected with the auxiliary generator, the battery reverser current relay closed for the battery charging for the contactor when the auxiliary generator voltage is reached for the predetermined set with the charging battery. Battery field contactor. The contactor closed with the throttle move with the number run 1 position connecting the battery with the main generator field during the transition number 2 to 3 position 2 to 3 position 3 to 2 position. Contactors open, reducing the generator output monetarily. Alright, figure 6.2 is the engine starting contactors. Okay. Alright, your traction motor field shunt contactor. The contactors connect with the shunt and resist with the cross of the traction motor field when the transition level with the number 2 with the number 4 position subject for the owner of the traction motor field shunting the resistor. For further description, the contactors identified in the symbol of M1, M2, M3, M4 with a schematic diagram or motors. AC motor contact with the 4 of these contactors, electrical control with the cabinet, each for the operation of the radiating cool fan motors, individually operated with the contactor with the turn with control with the thermostatic switch. All of these see the operational cooling system, section 3, transferring the relays. In this section, each of the AC front fan motors contactors are provided with a thermal overload protective device. Their information operation protective the locomotive protective device. Section 2, traction motor pneumatic control. These contactors chain with the traction motor connection. The series parallel, or vice versa. These operate with air pressure for the magnetic valve. The figure 6.3, the traction motor field shunting contactors. Figure 6.3. All right. Voltage regulator. A voltage regulator maintains auxiliary generator voltage at a constant 74 volts through the operating of the speed range for the engine to keep the battery charged, but to provide the constant excitation for the main generator during the locomotive operation. The defective voltage regulator will do evidence of excessive fluctuation for the ammeter and electrical control cabinet. The defective auxiliary generator will affect with the battery charging rate with excitation of the main generator. Reverse current relay. The relay movement relay prevents the battery current for the monitoring of the auxiliary generator, the opening of the battery charge contact with the auxiliary generator voltage, drop below with the battery voltage. Parallel relay. The relay energized with the transition lever, the number 3 and 4 position, operate with the conjunction with the time delay relay to go with the traction motor parallel 1, 2, and 3, and 4 contactors. Operate with the conjunction with the main generator shunter field, battery field contactors coupled lateral to open during the transition number 2 and 3 position, or 3 to 2 position. Time delay relay. The function of the double acting relay would allow the plane to generate the voltage type with the decree for the closing of the parallel contactor P1 during the transition number 2 to the number 3 position of the parallel 1 circuit during the transition from the number 3 to 2 position. So the relay is complete with a self-contained unit mounted on the parallel panel to the electrical control panel. Or your ground protective relay. The ground equipped with a high voltage system that will relieve the battery field with the main generator shunt field with the contactors bring the engines idle except with the throttle in 5 and 6 position. In the event where the engines will be stopped should occur where they isolate the engine A or set the relay main reset lever. Place the engine back on the line. If the relay repeatedly opens, the engine speed is increased. Isolate the power plant. Knife switch to the electrical control can. Rendered for the ground protective relay and operative for the opening of the switch that was provided with occurring the circuit. Certain electrical tests during the maintenance operation. It should be not open the road except with the circumstance authorized definite instruction to you with the particular railroad on which the locomotive is operating. Alright, no AC voltage relay. The relay on the alternating circuit, there should be AC voltage fail. The alarm bell will ring with no AC voltage. Warning light, blue light comes on. The engine speed will return to the idle. The sound of the throttle is in the 5th or 6th position. Event the engine will be stopped. Or your transfer relay. There are 2 other relays, each blowing operated with the relays established the circuit, but they are cooling with the 4 motor contacts on relay controller fans number 1 and 4, other control fans number 2 and 3. The sequence operation with the 4 cooling fans chain with the operation transfer relay. This provides all 4 fans approximately equal work to avoid probability of the last fan never working. The wheel slip relay. There are 2 wheel slip relays, wheel slip relay 1 and wheel slip relay 2. Each with the relay 2 normally open with the contacts of the vent with a pair of the wheel slipping the coil contact. Connected to the motor will energize one of the contacts with light with the wheel slip with light. Other de-energize the main generator shunting the field with operating the oil coil, thereby dropping the generator shunt field with the battery field. The power output will reduce the monetary unit until slipping stops. When wheel slips, it is necessary to reduce the position of the throttle until the wheel stops slipping. Then reapply the power of the open throttle. Gradually, the relay will operate with the pair of the wheels with shop and during the dynamic brake. If necessary, to use sand should it be applied sparingly only after the wheels stop. Slipping. Alarm sling. Single relay. A relay operates with the signal light at the hot engine boiler off in the low pressure at the ring of the alarm bell throughout the locomotive. The isolation switch. The isolation switch is located in the engine control instrumental panel. The purpose of the open and close of the control circuit is to open the occasional demand. When starting the diesel engine, the switch must be in the start position. After the engine running, to move the switch run position, this will connect the control circuit with the engine control and controller. unit controller. If it becomes necessary to isolate the unit, the isolation switch should be moved to the start position. This will bring the engine to idle and cut off the power to the unit. So the subject under the isolation, stopping the engine while under power. Section 2 with its manual note. If the switch is in the run position, engine shutdown, lube, oil, pressure, signal light, and alarm will operate. Pneumatic control switch. Your pneumatic control switch is an air-operated electrical switch located on the right-hand side of the cab below the window. The purpose of the switch is to produce the power of the locomotive to bring the speed with the engine for the idle with a certain air brake application to make place the seat above the under the locomotive protective device in Section 2. The switch for that is the manual reset button which must be pulled out after the brake has been released. The switch is referred to the pneumatic control switch or PC switch. The effective pneumatic control switch is on the various circuit of the locomotive can be found in the wire diagram. Main battery switch. The switch isolates all circuit of the battery except for the external charging receptacle. The switch should be open with the locomotive to the left standing of the engine shut down when the charging of the battery external sources. The thermostat switch. The engine water temperature control is automatically obtained with the automatic operation of the shutters, each of the 4 cooling fans separately with the automatic temperature controlling system. Consider the thermal element with the contact block and figures 4 contactors, no 2 transfer relays, 2 sets of shutters, 4 cooling fans derived at 12 horsepower AC motor for the thermal element with the contact of the block and fingers located the engine water outlet pipe with the control relays and contactors located electrical control cabinet, 4 cooling fans, the main hatch over the engine. The engine of the water discharge temperature reaches 166 degrees Fahrenheit. The shutters on both sides of the unit open automatically, therefore, at approximately 3 degrees Fahrenheit, and the water temperature of the fan will be treated with will be started required as necessary with all 4 fans running. Temperature of the cooling water drops and the fans will not cut out one by one. Will remain on until the water temperature of 163 degrees Fahrenheit, when all the 4 fans will shut off and the shutter will then close simultaneously. Alright, your auxiliary generator switch. One switch located with the electrical control cabinet of each of the unit with all the battery charging equipment. The one power with the plant auxiliary reverse with the current relay, battery charging contact with alternator field, circuit with the voltage relay, is isolate battery switch and opening. Lighting switch. If the fuse test switch is located in the distribution panel connected with the parallel fuse test blocks through the test fuse, turn the fuse test switch on the light lamp to place the fuse and test across the test blocks and turn the switch off. If the lamp goes out with the fuse is blown, the lamp socket can also be used to check the lamp. Alright, your engine room light switches. The 2 3-way switches operate with independently each other to turn each engine room lights on and off. If the lights are on, either switch will then turn off, and vice versa. Control push button switch for information refer to Section 1. Low oil pressure alarm switch for information refer to locomotive protective device. Section 2. Locomotive lube oil suction alarm switch for information refer to the locomotive protective device. Section 2. Engine high temperature alarm switch and for information refer to the locomotive protective device. Section 2. Ground protector relay switch. The switch opens in the circle of the operating of the cool ground protective relay. See paragraph ground protective relay in the section paragraph. Battery charging resistor. The resistor connected in series with auxiliary generator prevents excessive battery charging rate. The generator shunt and field resistor connected to the series with the main generator shunt field. The purpose of the regulate the shunt field with the current generator shunt field discharge resistor. The resistor shunt the main generator shunt field to reduce the high induced voltage when the generator shunt field contactor opens the battery field. Discharge resistor shunt the main generator battery field to dissipate the high induced voltage for the circuit of the battery field is open. Alright, your traction motor field shunting resistor. The resistor connected with all across the traction motor fields with the traction motor shunt contactors closed. Electric control cabinet. The electrical control cabinet contains the high and low voltage equipment. The high voltage equipment of the cabinet should never be worked on when unit is in operation. The voltage produced by the main generator are dangerous. High voltage. 1. Time delay relay. 2. Motor shunting contactor 4 pole. 3. Transition meter shunt. 4. Ground relay night switch. 5. Ground protector relay. 6. Wheel slip relay. 7. Parallel relay. 8. Shunt field discharge resistor. 9. Shunt field contactor. 10. Shunt field contactor resistor. 11. Reverser. 12. Pneumatic contactor. 13. Wheel slip relay. Low voltage. 1. Battery field contactor. 2. Auxiliary generator ammeter. 3. Reverse current relay. 4. Auxiliary generator night switch battery. 5. Battery charging contactor. 6. Battery charging fuse 150 amps. Auxiliary generator field 30 amps, battery field fuse 80 amps, single relays, starting contactor voltage relay regulator, battery field discharge resistor. This shows the picture of this shows the cabinet. Alright, your low voltage voltage panel, figure 6.5. Distribution panel, main battery switch, master controls, knife switch with 80 ampere control fuse, master light switch, 30 ampere fuse for the automatic train control speed governors, knife switch with a 6 ampere fuse, the ammeter battery charge, starting fuse of 400 amperes, fuel test box and test light, and external charging fuse, and 8, 9, steam generator fuse, 10 other fuse with low voltage control circuit lighting circuits. Alright, distribution panel, that was distribution panel 6. 6. Alright, load regulator and pilot valve operation. Load regulator is divided into two shifts. The pilot valve is attached with the engine governor and a self-contained unit with a structural steel frame consisting of the hydraulic vane type with the motor attached with the accumulator type with the rheostat. The load regulator is used with the vary load of the diesel engine for any of the given speed, thereby allowing the engine to determine the load which for the carry the engine governor demand. If the more fuel demand is determined to be determined, setting of the load reduces the regulator of the engine and reducing the fuel excitation from the main generator and vice versa. In this way, overloading the engine is prevented with the cylinder thus becoming inoperative. Alright, AC circuit with the 4 cooling fan motor with the contactor, 2 transfer relay, 3 the relay with the thermostat switch, 4 the no AC voltage relay, and 5 the alternate field fuse at 35 amperes. Alright, the ammeter electrical control cabinet indicates the auxiliary generator output that does not necessarily agree with the ammeter of the distribution manual. The ammeter distribution show the net charge of the discharge through the battery except with the starting current with the external charging sources. Your speed recorder. The speed recorder is a hydraulic operated speedometer with the recording tape with the driven with the axle with the numbered 1 stroke with the 8 unit flexible cable. The micro switch is inside of the recorder. Cover the operator's predetermined setting with this acting with maximum speed governance. Magnet master E magnet valve. The master E master valve the magnet valve the control of the air supply with the ABC valve with the electromagnetic governor. The control of the de-energize of the valve stop with the engine throttle with the running 5 and the 6 bring the engine to idle in either throttle position. The electro-pneumatic governor controls magnet valve. The assembly consists of 4 magnet valves designated A, B, C, and D. Energize the various combination of these valves. The control of the engine in accordance with the throttles. The following chart indicates the combination of engine speed at all 3 positions. Alright, it's, you have idle 1, idle, off 0, idle 275 RPMs, 275 RPM, 3, you have a start, it's speed motor of a magnet valve C at 425, RPMs. 4, you have A and C magnet valves energized at 500 RPMs. 5, you have B, C, and D at 575 RPMs. C, 6, throttle number position 6, you have A, C, and D at 650 magnet valves. Engines RPM 7, you have B and C magnet valves energized at 725 RPMs. And 8, throttle 8, you have magnet A valves energized at 800 RPMs. Traction motor control circuit explanation. The sequence testing control circuit that should be moved and maintained before the testing locomotive from the maintenance point of the definition, description, and transition of the given in section 2 of this manual. Following explanation describes what takes place during the transition. 4, transition. Train speed increasing. After the engines have been started and placed online, the following must be closed before the locomotive will move. The generator field switch. Generator field switch, transition lever to number 1 position, reverse lever to 4 to reverse the lever then 4 to reverse, the starting contractor interlock with the ground protective relay interlock. Number 1 transition panel, series panel with the following operation occur with the transition lever to number 1 position, throttle is moved from the idle to run, the SH and the BF contactors closed, the S contactor closed, the S14 and S23, the number 2 transition period position, the serials parallel shunt, the transition lever to move the number 2 position, the motor contactor 1, 2, 3, and 4 closed with the shunting of the main field with the electron, each traction motor number 3 transition parallel when the transition lever is moved to number 3 position. The parallel relay PR shield shunt field contactor SH opens, battery field contactor BF opens, motor shield shunting contactors M opens, time delay relay TVT open closes, parallel contactor P1 closes, serial contactor S14 opens, parallel contactor P4 closes, parallel contactor P2 closes, series contactor S23 opens, parallel contactor P3 closes, generator field shunt, battery field contactors SH and BF closed. Number 4 position parallel shunt, when transition lever is moved to the number 4 position, the motor field shunt contactor M closed. The backward transition, train speeding decreasing. Train speed decreases due to the grade of the transition lever that must be moved in accordance with the transition move. They indicated to prevent overload of the equipment and electrical equipment. See section 2 of the manual of the operating details. The parallel shunt, parallel transition. The following operators occur with the transition lever that moved Move the number 4 and number 3 position. Move with the M contact of the parallel seals, parallel shunt transition. Transition relay is moved with the number 3 to the number 2 position. Parallel relay PR opens SH shield shunt and the battery field contactor open. Time delay relay TV VT opens. Parallel 1 contactor open. Series 414 contactor closed. Parallel 4 contactors open. Parallel 2 contactors open. Series 223 contactors open. Parallel 3 contactors open. And shield shunting and the U contactors closed. The motor contactors closed. Serials parallel shunt with the serials parallel transition. Translist 11 and number 2 the number 1 position. Motors contactors open. Shield shunter and 13F contactors remain closed. Series 14 and Series 23 remains closed. 4 serials parallel to off transition. The valves move the idle position. Translation level to off. The Series 14, Series 23 shield contactor battery field contactors open. Alright, let's back out of this to zoom page actual level. Alright, you have your generator armature, which is a circle with the 2 solid blocks around with a passing cable. Light is a regular circle. Zigzag is a coil generator field, motor field, relay contactor, switch, a doorway switch or cross, a single pole knife switch. A double knife switch is two lines with 2 relays with the Vigley line with 2 parentheses on both sides of the reverser contactor series fielder, single pole snap switch, contactor with blowout switch, a puzzle piece drum sheet switch, double pole knife switch, the solid block over the missing points relay, interlock normal close, push button switch has a push pull switch button. Small dash, large dash, negative, positive storage battery, square bit, fixed resistor, swirly line with a 10A, which stands for fuse with a 10 amperes, a variable resistor is a fixed resistor, a bit was with a point back to the arrow to the resistor, ammeter is a square with connected to a circle A, V is a V volt motor. The line with 2 tenths with the thermal relay is a line with the circle with a negative sign on the negative side of the battery. A triangle dash pyramid with a wire grounded locomotive. The circuit is contained in another plate. There's an arrow. Wires are connected with wires at points where lines cross at full dotted lines. Line receptacle is a circle with 2 lines in it, on the backup light receptacle, a circle with 2 dots in it, and a battery charging a circle within a circle receptacle. Alright, moving on to the legend. The following list with abbreviation use identity of the electrical equipment, the schematic wire diagram, the wire designation appearing with the diagram conforming the identification bands of wires of the locomotive. These wire designations not included. AB, VB, AV, BV, CV, DV, EV, electro-pneumatic control governor valve. BC, battery charging contactor. BF, battery field contactor. Comms, communication field. CL, class light or switch. Differential field. ETS, engine high temperature alarm switch. FOR, reverse magnet forwards position. FPC, fuel pump contactor. GA, gauge light switch. GR, ground relay, protective relay. HDLT, headlight. LOS, low oil suction alarm switch. M, motor field shunting contactor magnet valve. M1, M2, M3, M4, motor field shunting contactors. N, number light switch. NVR, non-AC voltage relay. OS, oil signal light. P1, P2, P3, P4, parallel contactors. PCS, pneumatic control switch. PR, parallel relay. RCR, reverse current relay. REV, reverse magnet valve magnet reverse position. RVR, reverser interlock. S, series of contactors SK23. SH, field contactor. SP, speed recorder light. SR, signal relay. ST plus, ST negative, starting contactor. Starting field. TSA, thermal switch assembly. TL, throttle light. TS, engine high temperature signal light. VT, time delay relay. WSR 1, WSR 2, wheel slip relays. WS, wheel slip light. The typical wiring diagram with figure 6-8. Alright, Section 7, Air System.